Hello friends, welcome to the ACE exam. In this particular video, we will be dealing with history. We'll start with ancient and then we'll combine it with medieval and we'll end the first phase. As far as this video is concerned, we will talk about the basics of the ancient history, like the sources, etc. I would like to add and bring it to your notice that this will be a complete series where we will discuss from the scratch to the top. So this is a complete and we'll start with the lectures. First, ancient in history is something that we divide into prehistory, proto-history and the history. We'll study history from the beginning, called as Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization. Our ancient history will start with the discovery of Harappa. Harappa village with high walls was first noticed by Charles Mason. This is the first point which is very important, that the Harappa village with high walls was first noticed by Charles Mason. 5 decades later, he noticed it in the year 1826. 5 decades later, Sir Alexander Cunningham collected some seal from the site and started minor excavations. It was discovered as another civilization by John Marshall. He could make sense if the information discovered. These were of two sources. These were from the two sources, that is literary and non-literary sources. Literary sources include religious literature and secular literature. Sangam literature contributed a lot. So in the literature, we'll talk about the religious and secular literature. In the non-literature, we get it from inscriptions, then comes coin and material remains. Also, we'll take the help of foreigners account. Starting with the first part, that is religious literature. In the religious literature, we'll start with the most prominent ancient Indian text, which is called as Vedas. Veda or Ved. There are 4 Ved: Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Sam Ved and Athar Ved. Veds were written somewhere between 1500 to 500 BC. Rig Ved mainly consists of prayers. Sam, Yajur and Athar Ved contain prayer, ritual, magic and mythological stories. There were 2 epic also, which is Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana attributed to Valmiki and Mahabharata attributed to sage Vyas. In ancient history, the important things are terminologies. Some short points will appear, and I would request you to write it down because these are important. For example, public sacrifice. public sacrifices are recorded in Shrauta Sutra, and domestic ritual connected with birth naming are recorded in Griha Sutra. Griha Sutra. Griha Sutra. Domestic rituals. So these are the first two important. Other literature will include the literature from Jains and Buddhists, which are also treasure of the historical information. As we know that Buddhist literature was basically written in Pali and Jain literature was written in Prakrit. Buddhist literature, it includes Tripitak. What are these Tripitaks? We'll also deal with it separately when we'll start Buddhism, but here we'll just write it down. That is Sutta Pitak, Vinay Pitak, and Abhidhamma Pitak. The other important Buddhist stories are Jatak stories, which describes the previous birth of Buddha. This stories also throws light on socio-economic conditions of the period between 500 to 200 BC. The early Jain texts were written in Prakrit that we have discussed, and they were finally compiled in 6th century AD at Vallabi. The Jain literature is called as Anga. And it contains the philosophical concepts. Now we'll come to the next topic, that is secular literature. See, this is the introductory phase. As we move further in the lecture, the important topics will come. So I would request you to stay tuned and watch it without skipping it. The most famous and important here is Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra. That is law book. Secular literature are those which do not have religion as a theme. The earliest of the law book is Manusmriti. Earliest of the law book is Manu Smriti. It set out the punishment. For theft, adultery, murder, etc. Another important law book is Arthashastra's Kautilya's Arthashastra. Arthashastra, which is written by Kautilya, popularly known as Chanakya. It provides information. So the book Arthashastra, it provides information on Indian economy and polity, of particularly focusing on Mauryan period. The other important book is of Panini. Panini wrote Ashtadhyayi. Basically, this is nothing but a grammatical work. So Ashtadhyayi is nothing but a grammatical work which was done by Panini. Along with it, Patanjali's commentary of Panini also provides a valuable information on post-Mauryan era. Then there are some other secular literature which was given by Bhas, Shudraka, Kalidas and Banabhatta. We'll study each one of them individually when the topic comes, but for now I just have mentioned the name. For example, Abhigyan Shakuntalam. Abhigyan Shakuntalam was written by Kalidas. It gives us the insights on social and cultural life of Gupta. Social and cultural life of Gupta. Other works of Kalidas include Ritu Samhara and Meghdut. Ritu Samhar and Meghdut. The other secular literature include Raj Tarangini, which was written by Kalhana, It outlines the history of Kashmir. Raj Tarangini, written by Kalhana, it outlines the history of Kashmir. Then biographies or charitra are also important non-religious texts. For example, Harsh Charitra, which was written by Bana Bhatt, in the praise of Harshvardhan. So Harsh Charitra was written by Bana Bhatt. Raj Tarangini was written by Kalhana. Abhigyan Shakuntalam by Kalidas, also Ritu Samhar and Meghdut by Kalidas. Moving forward, the very important topic which comes here is Sangam literature. As far as the history is concerned, Sangam means union. Sangam means the poet assembly, basically an assembly which happened in the southern part, that is Tamil Nadu, Pandyan kingdom to be precise. The Sangam comprises of 30,000 lines of poetry organized in 8 anthologies. So 8 anthologies, to which it is known as Itutto Goi or Itutto Kai or Itutto Kai. That is what it is called as. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. There are two main group of literature. Which, the first is Patinen Kilkanakku. That is the 18 lower collection. And Pattu Pattu. Second is Pattu Pattu, basically 10 songs. The Sangam literature are different from Vedas and do not constitute a religious literature. So basically Sangam is nothing but secular literature. Sangam literature is secular literature. This is written in praise of various heroes and heroines. Here one of the important word it comes, Yavan. Yavana. Yes. Yavan. Yavan basically was a term used for Roman and Greeks. The other two epics, there are two epics, right? The first is Shilpadikaram and Mani Make Lai. We'll discuss on each one of them when we'll study this particular topic, that is Sangam literature, further. This is just basically the introduction and various terminologies which will come, which we will highlight. For example, we found Yavan. We also found the name of some books and the writers. So Yavan basically will refer to the Romans and Greeks. Now we'll come to the scripts which were written. Scripts. The majority of Ashokan inscription were in Brahmi script. Brahmi script was written from left to right. Left to right, and while in north and in northwest used Kharoshti script. Kharoshti script, which is right to left. Right to left. So first we talked about the Brahmi, which is left to right, and then there is Kharoshti, which is right to left. Even Greek and Aramaic scripts were used by Ashoka. So this is basically Ashoka's reign that we are talking. Ashok's reign that we are talking. So he used Brahmi, he used Kharoshti, he also used Greek and Persian, Aramaic scripts used in Ashokan inscription. In 14th century AD, two Ashokan pillars were found by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. One is Meerut and second in Topra, but they failed to decipher it. It was finally deciphered. So the Brahmi script was deciphered by James Prinsep in the year 1837, and this was also question which was asked by us in particular exam. This video, after finishing this, I would introduce to the thing that this video will be very important for everyone who is doing UPSC or state PCS, CDS, NDA, CAPF, and any other exam which has general science or general studies. Allahabad pillar inscription. Now we'll talk about Allahabad pillar inscription. First, it has the inscription of Samudragupta, attributes and achievements. Second is the king of Kharvela or King Kharvela of Kalinga. He has Hathi Gumpha inscription. Hathi Gumpha inscription. So this was basically about the literature. Now we'll come to the non-literature literary source, and the first and the best is coins. The study of coin is called as numismatic, and the earliest coin were punch marked coins. The first gold coin belonged to Kushana period. So here is another pointer. First gold coin belonged to Kushana period. And early Gupta also issued some spectacular gold coin. So Guptas, particularly early Gupta, issued gold coins. However, molds of such coins virtually disappeared in the post-Gupta period. Coins were also issued by guilds and merchants. So these coins were also issued by guilds and merchants. The next topic here that we are going to discuss, and is very important, is foreigners account. In foreigners account, several of the information which are of the Indian literature are collaborated, or we have got it from foreign accounts. The Greek writer mentioned Sandro-Cotto, who is defined as Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya as Sandro-Cotto. Sandro-Cottos. So Chandragupta Maurya was mentioned as Sandro-Cottos. Indica of Megasthenes is another book. Indica was written by Megasthenes, which was at the court of Chandragupta Maurya. So Megasthenes was also at the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Then there are some books which are important here and which worth mention, and they have probability to ask. There can be a question where one side there will be book and on the other side there will be the name of writer. So Periplus of Erythraean Sea. This was written by an anonymous writer. The next is Ptolemy's Geography. Ptolemy's Geography. Third is Pliny's Naturalis Historia. So these are some of the book. Apart from them, there are two Chinese traveler. First is Fine and the second is Huanzang, Zhuangzang, whatever you can call it as. Fine basically gave the account of or the socio-economic condition of the ages of Gupta, and Zhuangzang gave the history of Harsha. Zhuangzang also visited Nalanda University. Now we will talk about a little historical sense. Ancient Indian didn't write history as it is written today, but Purans are written as a sort of history. So Purans are written as a sort of history. There are 18 Purans, total 18 Purans, and provide dynastic history up to the beginning of Gupta rule. So Purans speak of four ages. Which start from Krita, or we call it as Satyug. Then come Treta, Dwapar, and at the last comes Kali Yuga. Krita, Treta, Dwapar, Kali Yuga. KTDK. KTDK is something you'll remember. So according to Puran, there are four ages that we have talked, and the moral values and social institution will degrade from here to here. Based on the event happened, several eras started in India. For example, Vikram Samvat or Vikram Samvat, 57 to 58 BC it started. Then comes Shaka or Saka Samvat, it started 78 AD, and Gupta era, it started 319 AD. So these were some of the important. Now we'll focus on important ancient works. I am again repeating, this is an introductory video, but here you will find a lot of facts which directly have asked in examination, and hence this topic becomes important. So I would still ask you to be here, increase the speed if it is slow, and then write down whatever I'm writing on the screen, because that's important. The next is Sandhyakar Nandi. Sandhyakar Nandi. Sandhyakar Nandi wrote Ramcharitra. Ramcharitra. Sandhyakar Nandi wrote Ramcharitra, which narrates the story of the conflict between Kaivar the peasant and the Pala prince Rampal. So this Ramcharitra is not basically the Lord Ramcharitra, right? So this discuss the conflict between Kaivar the peasant and Pala prince Rampal. Next is Bilhana. Bilhana. This writer and the books are very important. Bilhana wrote Vikraman का देव चरित्र. Vikraman का देव चरित्र. This is on the life and achievement of his Kalyani Chalukya king Vikramaditya V. Vikramaditya VI. Pardon me. So this is written by Bilhana, Vikramadev Charitra, Kalyani Chalukya. Kalyani Chalukya. So Kalyani Chalukya, the king Vikramaditya VI, that this book is based upon. The next in this series is Atul. Atul wrote Mushika Vamsa. Mushika Vamsa. This is about the dynasty of Mushika in northern Kerala. Modern conceptions of ancient Indian history. So we'll study here about the establishment of Asiatic Society of Bengal. Asiatic Society of Bengal, 1784 it was happened. It was a colonial era. Vincent Smith wrote a book called as Early History of India. Early History of India was the first systematic history of ancient India. The nationalist conception of history tried to break British perception. So R.G. Bhandarkar and V.K. Rajwade were the two notable historians and reconstructed the social and political history with the help of various sources. So some of the important works on ancient history include P.V. Kane. He wrote a book called as History of Dharmashastra. History of Dharmashastra. Write it down. This is very important. Do not just sit and listen to it. The next is R.C. Mazumdar. R.C. Mazumdar wrote History and Culture of Indian People. History and Culture of Indian People. Kane wrote History of Dharmashastra. R.C. Mazumdar wrote History and Culture of Indian People. Then there is A.L. Basham, who wrote that the wonder India was. or the wonder that India was. And the last is D.D. Koshambi, who wrote an introduction to study of Indian history. To study of Indian history. So this is the important works. And we will end the introductory part. In this we have talked about various topics. We try to touch the basics of everything. See, again I'll repeat that this lecture will be very important for UPSC, CDSE and CAPF, and of course NDA. Any exam which has topic called as GS, this video will be more than sufficient. Each and every topic will be taught here. So just take your pen and paper and write down whatever I'm telling. Have a great day ahead. Thank you for watching.